Yuumi and reroll carries have been dominating the meta, leaving carries like KAISA completely uncontested. If you're looking to climb fast, this is the carry you need to play. Let's break it down. In the early game, you're mainly looking to play Ginsu's or Static Shiv. You want to get a bow on first carousel and flex between the two items. For a tank option, you can play for Sunfire or Warmogs by flexing Giant Spell. In the early game, this is how your board should look. You really want a backline carry and matching frontliners. I play Brawlers because it's very flexible and works with many carries. Ashe, Ezreal, and Vayne all synergize with Brawler units. Overall, Laser Core provides a solid level 4 shell and is really good to snowball the early game with. Hitting Ashe or Renekton 2-star really helps with this. At level 5, you can add in any Recon, Duelist, or Aegis unit to synergize. I really like Gangplank or Fiora since it adds more frontline, but if you can start with a lot of frontline items, you can go for Kayle or Ezreal to add more damage instead. Now in the mid game, you'll spend most of your time on level 7 slow rolling for units. The main benefit of this comp is there's a ton of 2 and 3 cost units, which means you should be able to 3-star multiple units. In order of priority, KAISA, Vayne, Nilah, Riven, and then Vi can all be 3-star here. You should pause and study the board if you need to, as a ton of pieces were swapped out from the early game, and although Ashe was swapped out, you can hold her as it's playable at level 8 or 9. You can also swap Rel for Echo when you find him. This depends on if you need Aegis or Defender. It's best to keep one on the bench and swap back and forth as you need to. Now in the late game, this is how your level 9 board could look. Now it's unlikely you ever reach level 9 unless it's near the very end of the game. Going for 3-star units is usually better. The last 2 units we added in are Echo and Syndra to give Star Guardian 5. You can also add in Ashe for Recon 4 to get ability crits on Recon units. However, if you're against a heavy AP lobby, dropping to 3 and swapping out Rel and Syndra for 2 more Aegis units will be more consistent. Likewise, you can drop Syndra and Vi to add in more defenders against heavy AD boards. You never want to drop Echo. His ult is too valuable. The only time it's okay is if you 3-start Vi and want to keep her in play. If you want to improve your rank, then you need to sub to my channel so you never miss out on meta updates and comp guides like this one. For carry items, your main goal is to play Ginsu's, as it works great at all stages of the game. You should look to go from any backline carry like Ashe, Kayle, and Sivir to KAISA once you find her. From there, KAISA's next 2 items will be 1 AP item like Deathcat, Archangel Staff, or Jeweled Gauntlet, and either Static Shiv to shred magic resist or Giant Slayer to kill tanks. Jeweled Gauntlet is also playable if you don't want to go for Recon 4. For tank items, you should place them on any brawler to start like Renekton, Blitz, or Vi. Then transition to Nilah late game, unless you get a really lucky Echo. Your items should be Warmog, Sunfire, and either Dragon's Claw or Bramble Vest. I think Dragon's Claw is slightly better since I believe AP is stronger in this meta, and you also get health regen when using it. If playing Nilah main tank, then Redemption is also a potent option as it synergizes with her spell, providing more AoE healing and damage reduction, making it tough to kill your frontline. For Echo, I recommend giving him Gargoyle Stoneplate instead. Normally, Stoneplate is weak, but since Echo's ability taunts enemies to him, he gets a ton of value from it. Now there's a ton of ways to get extra item value in this comp. Again, Gargoyle Stoneplate is really powerful on Echo, and if you've already slammed tank items on Nilah, Redemption can still be played on another frontline. For extra carry items, Vayne can use Ginsu's and any extra AD items like Giant Slayer and Last Whisper to weaken enemy frontlines. But if you're looking to max out damage, Deathblade and Ruin's Hurricane are great too. Now for Ezreal, he loves blue buff and any extra AP items that don't fit on KAISA. It's not uncommon to have 2 carries with this comp. It's one of the main benefits of using Recon. Lastly, Thief's Glove is actually a really great choice to slam on any Recon unit. It keeps things simple and provides great value when you get a good carry item. Now let's move on to augments. First we have Think Fast. This augment is super busted because there's so many 3-cost units to 3-star. You should always take this if you find it when you're level 7. Trade Sector is also really good in that same time frame. It's really good on 3-2, right around when you're close to or at level 7. This way you can get your 3-star units efficiently. Golden Ticket is really strong if you find it at 3-2. This will allow you to continue re-rolling more efficiently. Triforce is an augment that works specifically well in this comp, again because there's a lot of 3-star units that benefit from the Triforce buff. Star Guardian Crown is actually pretty decent if you have no other options. This way, by level 9, you can play both Star Guardian 5 and Recon 4. Now, Recon Crown is actually much stronger than Star Guardian for a couple reasons. 1, you can hit Recon 4 much earlier, which is very nice, and 2, it essentially creates a new damage threat with the Recon active. Jeweled Lotus is very powerful in this comp to add more damage. Just keep in mind, if you take this, you don't want Recon 4, because Recon 4's main benefit is getting ability crits. You don't need that at with Jeweled Lotus. Band of Thieves is a pretty good option because you have several recon units to give to. The main benefit of this is that you can focus less on secondary carry units and go straight to secondary tank items. Now let's break down the best hero augment choices. At the top, we have Echo and KAISA. Both of their augments are S tier choices here, and obviously, if you find an Echo augment, you should always field him no matter what. The value these give are much better than the rest. The last S tier choice is Ezreal's Raider Spoils. It's below the first two heroes because only his support augment is super broken here. You don't really want his carry choice unless nothing else is offered. Always place Ezreal next to KAISA when this augment is active, unless she has 3 items, in which case you can place him next to Vayne. Next, Nyla's gifted augment is a great choice when the S tier augments aren't pickable. The copied item adds good tank value, and her bonus AP increase gives added AoE healing from her spell. Now below that, we have Vayne's Into the Night augment. It's not that great to be honest, but it's better than nothing, so take it if it's the only option. You can also look to build multiple Edge of Nights if you get it for more value. Finally, way at the bottom is Vi's Boxing Lessons. This augment sucks, and if it's the only option presented, I would suggest rerolling because it's not really worth it. Now let's move on to positioning. Now since recon units dodge spells, positioning in this comp is fairly simple and low maintenance. Defensively, you generally want to keep your recons spread out, so you can always swap them around and keep KAISA safe. I like to keep KAISA in one corner and my second carry item holder in another corner. This way, at least one of them gets to free hit at all times. Of course, KAISA is more important, so you should always scout to make sure KAISA is as safe as possible. To dodge Taliyah ult, you want to keep her on the same side as Taliyah and have someone bait the ult away from KAISA. To dodge Urgot, Mordekaiser, Sejuani, and Asol ults, you need to keep KAISA isolated. This is especially true for Asol, since his ult is randomly targeted. Now there's a trick to dealing with enemy Sejuanis, however. You always want to keep Echo in front of her at all times. He will roll behind Sejuani and cause her to throw the ult away from your team since she'll be taunted. So as long as you keep KAISA from her and Echo right in front of Sejuani, she'll never be ulted. To dodge Urgot ultimate, make sure KAISA is on the opposite end so that the wave never hits her. Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, I'm Swagadelic.